Shit. There we go, audio. Ah, does that mean I didn't do the... And now I'm also... This is really annoying. But anyway, I think this is working now. And there's a delay. Where's the delay? There it is. Gone. Delay fixed. Audio fixed. Okay, cool. Alright, we can get back to it now. Oh my god, why can't I just stream and have it set up properly? Every time there's an issue. So, alright, welcome everyone. I hope you're doing good. I hope you've survived today. Who do we have in the chat? Let's see who's here. We got live chat. Elliot Patterson, Susie Venikimi, Hasta La Vista Barbie, Dusty Mountain Climber, Fudg About It, Hostile Power, Nudge, Spin B, Traded JM, Mohammed, Griff, Izzy TV, Vasil, Heisenberg, and Elon Musk's son is in the house. That's right, isn't it? That's X's name. XAA12. We got Elon Musk's son in the house. Welcome. If your dad's there, can you tell him to pump Doge, please? Like now, ideally, because I'm really fed up of this just dumping all the time. So if he can please pump Doge, I'd be very happy. Thanks. All right. So yeah, okay. So we have the FOMC data coming up shortly. This is what we're looking at, essentially, from FOMC. So that is coming up in about 20 minutes. Just over 20 minutes. And I think everyone's just expecting it to be a pause. I mean, it's almost certain that it's going to be a pause. There's going to be no change on the rates. But it'll be interesting to see what happens anyway. Okay, so the federal funds rate, we're expecting a pause, just 5.5% once again here. FOMC statement, and then we got the press conference at 7:30, which is where more likely we're going to get some kind of movement. So if you're in any positions right now, I'd be a little bit cautious because we're getting some pretty big moves at the moment, and especially because of all of this enormous drop down that we had this morning, then I'd be pretty cautious on any trades right now. But we can have a look, see what's going on in the market, see if we can find anything that may be worth, any trades that may be worth taking. If you want me to go over my analysis in general, I mean, I did that in the video this morning, and we've done a trading room for the crew since then as well. So my overall bias is that I think we can just continue grinding, and we've almost taken out the low again today. So we had this bounce that came into our session VWAP earlier on, rejected. We've not yet taken the lows from this morning, but with FOMC coming up, there's every possibility that we could swipe those lows, come down to 56k, and then maybe try and get a bit more of like a real bounce going. When you have a day like today, it's more likely than not going to continue in the direction that it's been going in all the way up until the daily close. So if anyone was wanting to trade this, the simple way to do it is just like keep short or stay short until daily close. Or if we are to get a bounce, right, even if it comes up here, I would imagine early morning Asia session comes down and takes out these lows again. And around about here, Asia session tonight is possibly where some scalp longs could be taken, and to see if there's some, a bit more of a decent bounce. You see it all the time. So yeah, kind of looking at something like that today, but we'll see what happens. What's the first seal saying? 0.5 from 38,500 to all-time high is 56,200. Yes, it is. It is. So I shared that earlier. I think that was in my video this morning anyway. I think that's on this chart. Yeah. So we do have the 0.5. Correct me if I'm wrong, technically the 0.5 isn't an actual fib. Well, yeah, it's not Fibonacci level, but it's the middle, so it's still significant. But yes, it's not a Fibonacci, because those are mathematical numbers. It's just a level of interest. It's like the midpoint of a channel. So, yeah. What else can we talk about? What else is going on here? We're getting some bullish divergence. This has been forming, and it is across the board. So what I pay attention to is bullish divergence within oversold, especially on the 4-hour. So we are seeing that now. If we look at our two most recent lows, from first of all from yesterday, and then again the ones that we're putting in today, these ones here, we do have these divergences. And when you have a divergence such as this, let's just make this a bit bigger. Essentially what we'd be looking for is for the RSI to come and take out that high, or price to come and take out that high. Either or would be very much valid in this instance. So because we're in those oversold, it's definitely time to be looking for longs, but this is a 4-hour time frame. And on the 1 hour, we've got it again here on the 1. So if we're looking at divergences on the 1 hour, then it's a similar situation. Okay, we could be seeing these closes. Remember, RSI is taken from a close. You don't take RSI from the WooX, you don't take divergences from the WooX. So although we've not made a lower low here on the 1 hour, there is divergence between these. What about the 30-minute? It's there as well. No, it's not. Did we make? Yeah, it's close enough. That is lower. So yeah, we've got bullish divergences forming across the board here, and you would want to see some kind of a bounce. The problem is the momentum's not really there with the bulls either right now. So see how this goes. For now, at the very least, we're just still trading below VWAP on the day, and there's no real sign of strength yet at all. So we've got to wait for that. I'm interested to know what people's thoughts are in general. Do we think the low's in? Do we think we can go a little bit lower? I don't know. My camera's flickery again. Fuel's gone. Looks like small moves are chewing most RSI up quick on small moves. Yeah, it's just choppy. I've taken a few trades today. So we did have a long on New York Open. It was just a scalp long. It was a 1R, a 1-to-1. I'll find that on here. Where's our sessions? We'll go over some of the trades. Oh, it was just here. It was literally just here, right as New York session opened. So what we have, here's your New York Open from earlier on. We got the opening bell, price came down, took out an internal low that had an imbalance, okay, from over here, 1 minute time frame. And then we were just looking for, we didn't catch it here, but it was within this consolidation. We managed to get in around this consolidation, and we were just looking for like that high there. So it was only like a 1 hour trade, just a little scalp. We had a pretty high probability after taking out a low that you're at the very least going to go and take out the internal high. That's what happens all the time on a session open. Local lows, local highs, and then get continuation. So that's really the only trade that I've taken during this particular session. I've got alerts. If we come and swipe these lows, if we do take out these lows, let's set an alert on here as well. Yeah, it's just been nothing much to talk about for the majority of this session. Nasdaq did take out the low and has had a decent bounce so far. And when the NQ opened, still waiting for those London highs to be taken out. So London session didn't take out Asia session highs. New York session hasn't taken out London highs. That is quite clearly a bit of a target. There's not really anything below unless price comes all the way down here to like 17,300. There's no need for the NQ to go any deeper than this. So yeah, we may be able to get a bit of a bounce. Nasdaq's looking a little bit cleaner. Spin B says more downside. Cupolini, 49k is the first target. I would be absolutely astounded and amazed and a little bit scared if 49k should ever happen. I don't see any reason. I don't see an argument for 49k. I don't see why 49k would be on anyone's. That's down here. I mean, okay, yeah. Maybe like a spike into it. If things get really bad, then yeah, maybe we just take out these lows. But that's a long way off. But let's go on to my Coinbase chart again. It's a bit cleaner. So for 49, we'd have to. I mean, I do like the 702. I do like it. And if we're going to go from our 38k low to our high and we're going to get a deep retrace, that seems a long way off. We're at 33% correction. It's not out of the question. But I think we've essentially, we're looking at this as being a deviation right now. Yeah, I'm looking for longs. Been sidelined out of the market for such a long time. You got your 200 EMA that's at 52 at the moment. Give that a few more days, it's going to be coming up to around about 54. So if you want like a high time frame idea for myself, I think personally I'm looking at something like this, where we get a bounce, because I do think we get a bounce pretty soon. Whether that happens tomorrow, takes us back up towards about 62. All right, 60k, 62k. You got golden pocket there. You're taking out the highs from today. See what happens if we hold the range. Great. Yeah, so if we can hold 60k, great. New all-time highs. You're looking at this as just being a deviation, like it was at 38k, like it was like back on like a bunch of these lows where you get that deviation. Or we're looking at something a little bit more drawn out, where we would find that we still get a bounce. I still do think we get a bounce, But then if we do reject some kind of falling wedge, that then takes us up to all-time highs afterwards. So can we get some kind of thing like that? And then get a bit of a breakout. Either way, I think, we've been looking at this for a while, and I wasn't convinced that we'd take out the low in the first place. I kind of thought that Bitcoin would just like be like, meh, yeah, I'm not going to take out the low. I'm just going to chill here, grind around for a while, get everyone, scared by almost taking out the lows like it did previously, and then shoot off and just go for it, because it's done it before. That's what happened on the last halving. So we have history for it doing that, and that would have gone back into, so I would just go left again, all the way back here, all the way back here, all the way back here, similar to what happened back here, right? So this was the last halving. We made some highs, and it was just sideways, chop, 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 chop for ages. But then eventually it ended up breaking up and then going on that big bull run afterwards. Whereas I think on this occasion we're looking at something a little bit more like this. So we had our breakout, and this is nowhere near all-time high, so I guess it's different kind of price action anyway. But we've had this drop, and I think some kind of chop and just prolonged. What I don't want to see is just a V-shaped recovery and then it just goes to all-time high again straight away, because I really would like some time to accumulate here. So yeah, either this and just hold, or we still get the bounce and we just grind, wedge, and off we go. But here is a good place to buy either way, I think. If there's more downside, at this stage, if there's more downside, I'm committed into my long positions, and I just have to ride it out and hold it. Cupolini, I do fib channels. It would align perfectly, plus the low of the higher time frame channel. Fib channels. So if we're looking at a channel, because we can be, I don't know, let's play with some stuff today. Let's do some take it back. We'll wait for FOMC. It's in 5 minutes. Yeah, so we've got FOMC in 5 minutes. We'll watch that, and then I'd like to just do some general analysis, some market astrology or something, whatever. Some market predicting things. But fib channel. Where's the... I thought I had a nice... I need to get better settings on this. Jeez. Start the channel at October 11th. Connect it to the Jan 22 lows. October 11. That's where it was. Jan 22. That's where I just did it from, man. That's where I just drew it from, and you made me delete it. October 12 was Jan 23. We're back approaching that midpoint. I want this to line up. I want to find what level are you getting that's like a nice top? This is a really messy channel. It's a really old. I need some better settings for fib channels. What's the 2? 2.272, 2.618. Nah, 2.5. Nah, 2.32. Whatever. Many self-proclaimed traders in panic mode, even targeting 35k. I mean, they're idiots, right? Log scale. That is a good idea. Yeah, we'll have a look at log scale in a second. 3 minutes into FOMC, so let's watch FOMC, see what happens, and then we'll do some general charting because it's been a long time since I've done some general like charting of stuff. I also want to check how some of my trades are going. So I'm long on STX. So I've taken this in 2 parts. Probably should take some profit here. But yeah, long, I mean, my average entry is going to be a midpoint in between these two. Because I went in, scaled in. And we're looking for a move up here. What low is this? Or what high is this? Or what low is that? Okay. Yeah, I probably should take profit on that, but we'll see how this goes. But that's a decent move. Okay, 1 minute to go until we get our funds rate. Hazard a guess, we're gonna get a bit of a drop because we're at VWAP. So if price is coming into VWAP, so this is what you got to know about the VWAP. If price is coming into it and we're approaching a news event, it's likely to repel away from that. So if I'm looking at what's going to happen during FOMC here, it'll be at the very least a spike down to take out these lows before a move up to take London highs. Whether that means Bitcoin takes the low or not, I do not know. But yeah, we're looking at, I don't know if we're going to get, are we going to get volatility? We'll wait and see. There was volatility yesterday. There was a massive dump on news yesterday. A huge dump when there was news yesterday. 22 seconds to go. Here it is. We don't need to know. It's going to come in at 5.5. But do we watch NQ or do we watch Bitcoin? I'm going to watch NQ to begin with because this will be the first mover, and then Bitcoin will follow whatever it does. Here we go. There's the move down. And there's the move up. It didn't go down very far. It did take an internal low. Cool. All right. Pumpy. Let's pump. Let's go. It did come in at 5.5, by the way. There you go. So if you wanted to know, there it is, 5.5, as expected. Is there going to be any continuation here? There we go. Come on. London highs, London highs, London highs. Take them out. Why didn't I trade this? Would have been a really easy trade. If it takes out the highs. Come on. Bitcoin, move. I've had this alert on here for ages. Seriously? All right. That was uneventful. How's stacks doing? Come on, push, 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 push. So I'm in 3 longs, stacks, W, wormhole, second one, and Jito, which is down here, chilling. Again, 2 parts on this. Very uneventful FOMC. We'll see if what Powell says will liven up the market in half an hour. Should we go back to the higher time frame stuff again? I'm going to place an alert at this high. Like I say, I'm not actually taking trades right now. But it's good to keep an eye on stuff. That's rubbish. Like it just didn't even take out the high. So, all right, here's the thing. Okay. There's actually a low probability of this taking out the high in the first place. Because if anyone knows and anyone remembers the TPO rules, let's change tick size, 10. Then if we actually look at the initial balance, it's a news day, so it does reduce the likelihood of this actually playing out. But because we had the IB, which is here, you had the initial balance low taken out. It is very unlikely that price comes and takes out the high as well. 88% of the time, the initial balance will remain the extreme of the day. Now that statistic doesn't stand when it is a news day. But I guess you can see why people maybe are still shorting this. There we go, we've finally taken out the high. So having said that, okay, this is why on a news day it doesn't work out. But why maybe initially it just didn't quite, because yeah, you have that, like, people still trying to short this. You've got internal highs that could be taken. And statistically, you've got a pretty decent risk to reward off of that. I mean, if you go for all of the internal highs and you go short here with your invalidation just at session high, right, which would have been here, and you just trade that back into where it came from, you've got like a 5R on that. But cool, finally, we get that continuation. That's what we wanted to see overall. Had a quick spike down on the news, comes up, takes out London highs, and working on Asia highs. Bitcoin getting a move as well, so we'll see if that can get the alerts. This will be our London highs also. Difference here is obviously, it won't be the London highs. It will be an internal high. But New York never took out the London low, so whatever. We've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions in a row trading below each other. New York, the first one which has not traded below the previous session. Interesting. Stacks. Have you hit my take profit yet? Go, 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 go. Yeah. All right. I am taking profit on that high for sure. So this is the trade we took in the trading room. So who else took this trade? Because I know we've got some crew in here. Who took this trade? We've just won. We are winners. Too early for spot entries, you reckon? No, no, no. No, now's a really good time to start scaling into spot, I would say. You just got to be patient. Like, don't do it all in one go. Be patient with it. That's nice. Let me share my P&L card. I'll be honest, it wasn't a lot of size. It's $100 profit, but it's something. There it is. It was a trading room trade. So you can see when it was opened during the trading room itself. Average entry, $2.01. I wanted to get an entry around about $2. We got that move up. So that's not bad. It's $100. $100, which I can now buy some spot with. On the next dip. So yeah, my entry wasn't as good as I said it was. It was around here. $2. The fact that it's only like $100 makes me tempted to just try and hold this for a little bit longer. Get it up to the daily open. $2.16, $2.15, or even $2.14. Stop to entry, maybe. Whoa, NQ's still chilling. I wonder if I've got an opportunity to take a long here. Just for the conference itself, let me open up Quantower. I haven't taken any trades on the NQ today. But just because we're dropping back down again, I wonder if there is a long can get some continuation. Should really have taken this one. I love that kind of trade. Missed it. Didn't get it. You see as it took out the session lows, bounced, gap. It's really nice. Short retest range low BTC. Yeah, see what happens. See what happens during the press conference. Because obviously if Powell comes out and is kind of dovish, the news is good, then we could see a reversal. I think we're looking at the NASDAQ here in general being an area where I would expect a move back up. Okay, it had, like, NQ had its big, nasty, dumpy before Bitcoin did. This was last week or week before. Okay, it's been recovering. If this drops further, it's going to get real nasty. So essentially what we're seeing from the NASDAQ is almost like what we've had with Bitcoin. It had this range, it was rolling over, it was clearly losing momentum. But you had lows taken out, some consolidation below, back inside, retesting. Now this could be a bearish retest once again here, but what I was expecting, and I drew this as a plan anyway, try and find it. This was the idea I was looking for on the NQ. It's not going to work. Can I just take a small screenshot? This is going to be really blurry, but you'll get the idea. So you see where we were coming up to take out these highs, which is these ones. We're looking for the move down to fill that gap, which is done. It's gone beyond that. Then to come back up from here. So I am overall like thinking that this can get a bounce here. And if NASDAQ does, Bitcoin will. I am still expecting a move back up towards around about 62K. And then we can take it from there. So we've got Powell talking in a few minutes. I'm just going to scalp this in the background. Because this is daily open on NQ now. Bitcoin's well below. STX is still there. We'll do some charting in a minute. How many viewers have we got here? How many people are watching? Got 85 people. That's not bad. Smash the like button, guys. We've only got 20 likes. That's really poor. All right, there's 86 people watching this and only 20 likes. So please hit the like button. I really need you to hit the like button. The more likes we get, the higher Bitcoin is going to bounce. That's the rules. The higher everything's going to bounce. Othman, I think we'll stay out of the range for a few days to make people bearish and funding negative, then bounce. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've had that before, haven't we? Like, I remember, like, even looking back to 38, it spent just a little bit over a day there. And then it just went, boom, just out of nowhere, came back. Come on, NQ. Don't be silly. I've taken a long here. As it came back down, I just want to see a bit of continuation. I could scalp. It's a bit risky. It's choppy, choppy, choppy. But because we've got this little range just to play with here, like, you can basically just be like, okay, cool. Shorts, longs. And just keep playing that. Just until it breaks. Till there's like a close above here. Because that was as we got the news. That was the retest. See if we can get back and move back up to these highs. Bitcoin's just following. Come on. Already scalped twice from 513. Shorts, nice. Yeah, if I wasn't streaming, I would be scalping. I absolutely would be scalping this. I would be trading this if I wasn't streaming. Just like quick little in and outs. But I did manage to catch an entry, so just like somewhere up here, just anywhere up here. Just let me close it somewhere here. And then maybe I'll go short. This is just frustrating. When does Powell talk? 10 minutes to go. We were going to do some like actual charting stuff, weren't we? And I've got distracted by trying to trade this. Trying to trade the chop. Like, I don't care, even if I just win like $300, just come up here. Seriously. Bam! Let's stop looking at it. Bitcoin's pulling back now as well. How many likes are there? 44 likes, 87 viewers. We've got to get more likes. We've got to get more likes, or we're just going to get, or this isn't going to move. Powell come bearish as inflation is moving up. No cutting rates in 2024 to avoid the same situation from 1970. Good luck. Yeah, I mean, well, that's what he said on the last one. And here we go. Now just stay there for like, stay. Did it take the high? Come on, just get me an exit. I'm being greedy here. I'm being greedy. It's at daily open. I'm being greedy. I'm going to end up giving this back. That's like the second opportunity I've had to take profit and I haven't done it. Come on. There we go. Right, I'm out. I'm out. Just to prove I took the trade. I'll bring it up on screen. If I take another trade, I'll do it. There's $300. There you go. At least I've done something today. That's a winning day. That counts as a winning day. You take it, move on to the next one. Happy days. I'll close this out and we'll do some more charting again now. Or do I? No, I'm going to keep it open. I know it creates a little bit of lag, but I do want to keep Quantower open because I might take another trade in a minute. But, Cupolini, can you show me a chart? Yes, you can. If anyone has any charts they want me to look at, then feel free to ask. Why is Carrot up here? This was a really nice airdrop, by the way. Very happy with that. I own a My Pet Hooligan NFT, and they airdropped me like 1,200 tokens or something like that, which is worth like twice as much as the NFT's worth. I mean, it's not anymore because it's been dumping, but very good. Nice airdrop. Better than the fucking Eigenlayer airdrop. How can you show me a chart? Well, you can post it in the Discord if you're in the Discord, if you're in the crew. Problem is, Discord is no longer public. So you can't do that. You can DM me on Twitter, you can tag me on Twitter, you can do one of those things. Do whatever you want. Post a chart in here, take it on that like picture taking website thingy. FET, Pixel and ENA. Let's have a look at FET. FET USDT, fetch.ai. Oh my god, like every chart looks the same, man. Look at that. STX, and I go to FET USDT. Like, it's exactly the same thing, isn't it? At least locally. Zoom out. This didn't work, did it? This was one of the maybe everything's making a higher low type of scenarios. Not good. That did not happen. Where are we at now then on this? So let's start on the monthly. Wow, that's a big move. So there's not really anything. If you're going to get real bearish on this, and you got previous highs there, and you got a big fuck off monthly gap. So you got that to begin with. Weekly, it's a similar situation. You got that big gap down there. Takes you back down to $1 as like a target for this if this is going to be super duper bearish and we're going for a longer pullback. Be a 70% correction. But I don't think we're looking at that on a lot of stuff. What this is doing is just holding this zone here where there's a decent OB. So I know you've got that like daily where there was just that massive flush, but whatever. We'll take the top of this as being demand. Moving averages are always nice just to look at for reference. So still no test of the 200. Are we around the 1? Yeah, so you're at that 100 EMA. Which is okay. It's showing some strength, certainly against Bitcoin. And you're in that right kind of area. You're nowhere near that wick. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, it's not the best looking chart in the world, but it's not bad either. It's just not very clean. What is Market Cipher saying on your hidden third screen? Thanks. Market Cipher is saying bullish bum cheeks. Kupolino, I can't see any chart. I don't know what you're trying to. Where have you posted it? What? I don't know what you're saying. Atom is one I like. Vasil. Atom is definitely one I like. Yeah, this isn't the cleanest in the world. There's a... What's that? Hey, check that out. I should have just held my long. Fuck it. Should have just held my long. Ah! Come on, everything else can pump now, please. Do I try and scalp short now? Because Powell's about to talk. I mean, this looks... That's Asia highs now, taken on MQ. This could be a like big old melt up now. I'm too scared to short this. Delta's looking good. Price is looking good. Jerome is going to dump it. We'll see. I mean, look, it's priced in. It is priced in. If that is not pricing in bearish FOMC, then I don't know what is. Like Nasdaq yesterday was down like 3% on the day. That's huge. It's priced in, guys. I don't know, but I don't see him dumping this. Still flying. Pissed off now. I should have held my long. There was no reason to close it, was there? I would have been like a grand, 2 grand. If I made 300 from like here to here. Yeah, I would have been over 1,000. Don't think of the money. I'm not going to chase it. Should we watch what Powell has to say? Does anyone want to see what Powell has to say? Federal Reserve Live. I hate it when I miss trades, man. It's coming up to a really big level now. So if this is to be like a bearish retest, then yeah. I guess the ICTers will be saying like, that's bearish, closing below there. Therefore, drawing liquidities here, but I'd counter trade that. Well, I already am counter trading it, so it's all good. Here's Powell.
Good afternoon. My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. The economy has made considerable progress toward our dual mandate objectives.
It's the same.
Inflation has eased substantially over the past year, while the labor market has remained strong. And that's very good news. But inflation is still too high. Further progress in bringing it down is not assured, and the path forward is uncertain. We are fully committed to returning inflation to our 2% goal. Restoring price stability is essential to achieve a sustainably strong labor market that benefits all. Today, the FOMC decided to leave our policy interest rate unchanged and to continue to reduce our securities holdings, though at a slower pace. Our restrictive stance of monetary policy has been putting downward pressure on economic activity and inflation, and the risks to achieving our employment and inflation goals have moved toward better balance over the past year. However, in recent months, inflation
he literally
has
said it's
shown a
causing
lack of
pressure,
further
and then it went
progress toward our 2% objective, and we remain highly attentive to inflation risks.
no money printer burring now.
I'll have more to say about monetary policy after briefly reviewing economic developments. Recent indicators suggest that economic activity has continued to expand at a solid pace. Although GDP growth moderated from 3.4% in the fourth quarter of last year to 1.6% in the first quarter, private domestic final purchases, which excludes inventory investment, government spending, and net exports, and usually sends a clearer signal on underlying demand, was 3.1% in the first quarter, as strong as the second half of 2023. Consumer spending has been robust over the past several quarters, even as high interest rates have weighed on housing and equipment investment.
Pretty neutral so far.
Improving supply conditions have supported resilient demand and the strong performance of the U.S. economy over the past year. The labor market remains relatively tight, but supply and demand conditions have come into better balance. Payroll job gains averaged 276,000 jobs per month in the first quarter, while the unemployment rate remains low at 3.8%. Strong job creation over the past year has been accompanied by an increase in the supply of workers, reflecting increases in participation among individuals aged 25 to 54 years and a continued strong pace of immigration.
Quite like a short if it comes here.
Nominal wage growth has eased over the past year, and the jobs-to-workers gap has narrowed, but labor demand still exceeds the supply of available workers. Inflation has eased notably over the past year, but remains above our longer-run goal of 2%. Total PCE prices rose 2.7% over the 12 months ending in March. Excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 2.8%. The inflation data received so far this year have been higher than expected. Although some measures of short-term inflation expectations have increased in recent months, longer-term inflation expectations appear to remain well anchored, as reflected in a broad range of surveys of households, businesses, and forecasters, as well as measures from financial markets.
Took a short.
The Fed's monetary policy actions are guided by our mandate to promote
it.
maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. My colleagues and I are acutely aware that high inflation imposes significant hardship as it erodes purchasing power, especially for those least able to meet the higher costs of essentials like food, housing, and transportation. We are strongly committed to returning inflation to our 2% objective. The committee decided at today's meeting to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 5.25% to 5.5%, and to continue the process of significantly reducing our securities holdings,
what happened on
though
Bitcoin?
at a slower pace.
What was the alert? Highest. Cool.
Over the past year, as labor market tightness has eased and inflation has declined, the risks to achieving our employment and inflation goals have moved toward better balance. The economic outlook is uncertain, however, and we remain highly attentive to inflation risks. We've stated that we do not expect that it will be appropriate to reduce the target range for the federal funds rate until we have gained greater confidence that inflation is moving sustainably toward 2%. So far this year, the data have not given us that greater confidence.
That is full
In particular,
TP
as I
on
noted
stacks.
earlier,
Just
readings on
closed.
inflation have
Got
come
that
in
closed at
above
limit.
expectations. It is likely that gaining such greater confidence will take longer than previously expected. We are prepared to maintain the current target range for the federal funds rate for as long as appropriate. We're also prepared to respond to an unexpected weakening in the labor market. We know that reducing policy restraint too soon or too much could result in a reversal of the progress we've seen on inflation.
This is fun.
At the same time, reducing policy restraint too late or too little
Where's his face gone?
could unduly
Hey,
weaken economic activity and employment. In considering any adjustments to the target range for the federal funds rate, the committee will carefully assess incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. Policy is well positioned to deal with the risks and uncertainties that we face in pursuing both sides of our dual mandate. We will continue to make decisions meeting by meeting. Turning to our balance sheet, the committee decided at today's meeting to slow the pace of decline in our securities holdings, consistent with the plans we released previously. Specifically, the cap on Treasury redemptions will be lowered from the current $60 billion per month to $25 billion per month as of June 1. Consistent with the committee's intention to hold primarily Treasury securities in the longer run, we're leaving the
This
cap
is
on agency
really
securities
easy
unchanged per
to
month,
scalp right now. Look at
and
that
we will
range.
Reinvest any proceeds in excess of this cap in Treasury securities.
Really nice.
With principal payments on agency securities currently running at about $15 billion per month, total portfolio runoff will amount to roughly $40 billion per month.
I still have a feeling this is breaking up.
The runoff does not mean that our balance sheet will ultimately shrink by less than it would otherwise, but rather allows us to approach its ultimate level more gradually. In particular, slowing the pace of runoff will help ensure a smooth transition, reducing the possibility that money markets experience stress and thereby facilitating the ongoing decline in our securities holdings that are consistent with reaching the appropriate level of ample reserves. We remain committed to bringing inflation back down to our 2% goal and to keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Restoring price stability is essential to set the stage for achieving maximum employment and stable prices over the longer run. To conclude, we understand that our actions affect communities, families, and businesses across the country. Everything we do is in service to our public mission. We at the Fed will do everything we can to achieve our maximum employment and price stability goals. Thank you. I look forward to your questions.
Thank you. Howard Schneider with Reuters. A question to follow up, if I could. Do you consider the current policy rate still, are you confident that it's sufficiently restrictive to get inflation back to 2%?
So I do think the evidence shows, pretty clearly that policy is restrictive and is weighing on demand. And there are a few places I would point to for that. You can
Just
start with the
doing a
labor market.
little scalp short again.
So demand is still strong, the demand side of the labor market in particular, but it's cooled from its extremely high level of a couple of years ago. And you see that in job openings. You saw it, more evidence of that today in the JOLTS report.
Okay, I don't like that.
It's still higher than
Still
pre-pandemic, but it has been coming down both in the Indeed report and in the JOLTS report. That's demand cooling. The same is true of quits and hiring rates, which have essentially normalized. I also we look at surveys of workers and, surveys of workers and businesses and ask workers, are jobs plentiful, and ask businesses, are workers plentiful? Is it easy to find workers? And you've seen that the answers to those have come back down to pre-pandemic levels. You also see in interest-sensitive spending like housing and investment, you also see that higher interest rates are weighing on those activities. So I do think it's clear that that policy is restrictive.
Sufficiently restrictive, I guess. Is it?
So I would say that we believe it is.
All right, shut up,
restrictive.
pal. We've had enough of that. Let me turn him off. He just keeps coughing. We're pumping, guys. I told you it wouldn't come back down. Short's getting squeezed. There's like nothing left in this area here. And it could be a similar thing on Bitcoin. right. I just tried a little scalp short. I was having none of that. Cool. Tried one here. Did not play. But all was good. Right, okay. We'll get back to this. Yeah, we're pumping. As we kind of thought we would. So. That's good. We've made some profit. Stacks into the daily. Bitcoin's already like recovered most of the losses from earlier on today as well. Squeeze them. Short's not closing yet. No, I mean this could get squeezy. We're seeing what it's doing on the NQ. It's already getting squeezy on that. So yeah, could be a similar thing. We'll likely retest range low and go back to where we were. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I was saying this earlier. I think a retest back towards 62 is likely. I know that seems a long way up. We've got monthly open. Like, I'm not saying we'll do that in one go, but I do think a retest towards 62 is likely. See what happens there. That's where I'd be looking for shorts again. I mean, it could get caught up around like 59,500, and it could just roll over here. But as long as this keeps melting up, then Nasdaq's still just going. So it's cleared through all of those single prints from yesterday. Poor highs yesterday as well on the day. So we'll be looking for that to get those to get taken out. And then Nasdaq looking for 1800. Like, this was the plan. And on Bitcoin, a bit more continuation as well. Man, what a little session. Smashed that. Happy with that. The only trade that didn't work out was just my little scalp short that I tried at the end, but that was only a little loss. Cool. Close that. Look at Nasdaq, it's just flying. Why did I not hold my long? Tomorrow we have Apple earnings. Meh. Apple chart's looking quite interesting as well. Like, Apple looks ready for a bit of a bounce as well. Like, I know there's this bearish talk of like, we were looking at this, but I mean, take that away. What did Apple do recently? Oh, fucking wrong thing. not that. What did Apple do recently? Okay, it's in a range. Took the lows. Same as what it did when it was at the highs here. Took the highs. You're just in this range. So, bullish Apple. Bullish Tesla. Gapped up. Like, yeah. We're in a bull market. Like, everything's in a bull market. It's just whether It's just how deep, how much do things correct? So the whole thing is like, and this is why just to try and short now of all times, just a lot of risk involved in that, because like you zoom out, okay, it's an uptrend, right? NASDAQ, it did take out the lows. It cleared a bunch of lows, but it's quite clear the markets in general, it's a bull market. I'm not going to get bullish again, but yeah, we've seen the kind of moves that can happen from this already, and that's just squeezed a lot of shorts out straight away. So let's see how it goes. I'm not saying the lows on Bitcoin, but yeah. Please don't, it's unbearable. I never say, the only time I've said the low is in was 38K. That was here. That was when I took the trade live. I was like, low's in. That's as low as it's going. Because we planned for that. We knew 38K was the target. I don't know now. So I'm not going to say it. It could very easily go lower. But look, it's still going up. Still going up. You haven't looked at my chart. Where have you posted your chart? How am I supposed to look at your chart where there is no chart for me to look at? Where have you posted it? What are you going on about? I do not understand what you're saying. This is interesting. So we're at liquidity. Link is in the chat. There's no fucking link in the chat, man. Not that I'm saying anyway. So sorry, I'm not going to look at your chart. I don't see a link. It's probably blocking it because it's a link, because that's what YouTube does. Does anyone else see a link in the chat? I don't see any links in the chat. Heron, I'm not going to buy spot until 200 EMA. What if it doesn't hit the 200 EMA? This is the problem. This light's too bright. This is the problem. Like, always happens. Like, what? Why? Why would you like wait? I don't know. Because if it doesn't hit the 200 EMA, what is your backup? Because when it hit 38K, there were a ton of people telling me, "Oh, I'm not buying until it goes to 32." Never went to 32, and they're still like, what was their backup? When did they buy it? I mean, here was relatively easy because you reclaimed yearly open, and then you could have just accumulated here. But, okay, if it doesn't go to the 200 EMA, and if it just goes back up to here, to 62 and holds 60K, what's the plan? Are you going to get an entry? Or are you going to be like, I don't know. Like, this asset is going to be way, 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 way above 100K in 6 months' time. And whether you buy it at 56 or 52, does it really make that much difference in the grand scheme of things? And the same, like whether you bought at 62, because I bought some at 62. Okay, so if we're looking at, let's say we're looking at 100K, and you got your average entry that's like 60, make 70% there, and if you wait until it goes to 52, you make 90% there. Like, okay, yeah, it makes a difference, but when you actually look at it, okay, are we going to go beyond that? Are we going to be looking at 200K? Because it is going to happen, right? We are entering into that phase of the bull market now, most likely, where if we go to like 180, 150, what's the difference between 150% and 170% return on your investment? I don't know. I just like, yeah. So here we go. We're back testing. Is this a bearish retest? Do we reject here? NQ still going higher. STX still going higher. Everything's green on the day now. Zeta up 20%. W up 14% on the day. Solana up 6% on the day. Dupe. Slurf. Dog Whiff Hat up 8% on the day. Why buy spot Bitcoin in the first place? Because it's better than the dollar. Is Bitcoin going to close today green? That would be absolutely insane. Like if this closes today above this low, what are bears going to do? I'm getting too excited about this being a reversal. I know, but hey, we made some money today, so I'm all good. I think I might wrap it up there. But yeah, targets 62K BTC. 18K NQ, I'd be very happy if that were to happen. Just waiting for longs. BTC will do single prints, just waiting for longs to get over aggressive. Yep. Not often you see this like double bottom, like W thing, is it? So we basically, what happens, guys, if you, now that we're inverting it, I mean, this is like the most obvious answer in the world. But look, it's like, oh my God, guys, let's flip this. Hey, look what's going on. Imagine the symmetry. Whatever. Cool, yeah. That was fun. I'm going to call it there. I've been live for an hour and a half. So, have a great evening, everyone. I hope this has maybe made you feel a little bit better. We've been profitable on some long positions. It's been a while. So, yeah, enjoy your evening. We're not out of the woods yet. I'm not going to, like, be a bull-tard weirdo and say, like, we're lows in and we're we're going to fly. I still think there's more pain to come, but nice to see a move up. Nice to see the squeeze happening. Let's see if we can get some continuation. Let's see where we end up in the morning. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you soon. Bye-bye.